just come back from Molineux and it's finished Wolves 0, Man City 4. What a start to the season, eh?
Yeah, to be honest, like we said yesterday, Man City, it was always going to be hard to beat them anyway, if not draw. Whether we've
Yeah.
been lucky before, it's just one of them. But um, I don't know about you, Courtney, but I mean, you're always a positive person, likewise with me. But what kind of positive spin can we put on that kind of performance? Do you think? Certainly the first half. I mean, we just seemed to be all over the
Well,
place.
the positive was at least we didn't get any injuries. But let's start off, first of all, the starting 11. What did you think of that? I was surprised with a couple of the selections.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I don't know whether you watched all the pre-season games. I only watched two myself, but I didn't really think. However, just had a very good pre-season, and in fact, I don't think any of them really had that much of a good pre-season. But I
No.
must admit, I honestly thought today when I saw it, my first thought was, "Oh my word, Hoover, Pereira's got to, have something, or he must sort of think something highly of Hoover to put him in there." But I thought, you know what, let's give him a go.
I didn't think he had a bad game today, but
Did you not?
back to the starting 11. I was surprised that he started. Not only that, but I was surprised that Munetsi started because in the pre-season friendlies, is it Fer Lopez has been starting.
Hmm.
Another one I was surprised with was that Bellegarde started in
Yeah,
preference to John Arias.
yeah,
I was surprised at that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my surprise. What did you think? Any surprises for you?
Yeah, yeah, it's that for me too. I mean, well, saying that, Manetzi, yeah, I like Manetzi. Like him, he really gets stuck in. Sometimes I don't know when he knows the offside rule, but Manetzi's a good player in my view. Bellegarde, yeah, he has. To be fair to him, he fights, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? And he's not a bad lad at all. It's just that he's a bit
Yeah.
clumsy when he comes,
But I was
kicks
just
into the
surprised
ball.
because
But
the pre-season friendlies he hadn't been starting, though, has he?
no, he
Or
hasn't.
before, well, at least since Arias has come in.
Yeah, I didn't, and I was completely surprised today when I think it was about a quarter of an hour before the game started. There was a notification on social media from Wolves stating that Totti Gomes was now the captain for this campaign, and there was a lot of people that were slating him. But again, I don't think he's been bad under Vitor at all. I really don't.
No,
And
but hadn't they previously announced Joe Gomez as captain last
yeah,
week?
a lot of people think it was a bit of a joke or something, or Wars had made a mistake, but clearly not. I don't know. It was a bit strange, but I thought, you know what, fair play. Um, why you hadn't put Agamagadu, in there? I don't know, but
Yeah,
going off what you said yesterday, perhaps he hasn't got what I thought he had in the changing rooms when I've seen him on there. But it was a completely surprise with Totti to be captain. And I noticed when the camera zoomed in on the huddle just before the kickoff, I noticed that it was Agavadu that was doing all the talking in the little huddle, and he was really trying to get his message across, and all the players were nodding. And I thought, okay, it's normally the captain that should be doing that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'd like to think there's no rift in the team at all, and they're all getting on. But it just seemed
yeah.
a bit strange. I mean, I didn't expect that 11. I must admit. Bellegarde, yeah, I don't think he's Premier League standard in my view. He's
I do,
yeah,
but I was just surprised that he was started because I expect Arias to be the main man this season. Maybe he
yeah,
still will
yeah,
be, but
yeah. He still could be. I mean, it's we we certainly know that the two Gomez's in midfield they were going to be starting, and I was a bit surprised that Fer Lopez didn't start either. And
yeah,
Strand Larson. I mean, as you quite rightly stated in like in your messages during the game with whoever, he was putting a couple of good crosses in, but I thought some of them were a bit lucky. But it's Strand Larson. He put himself in some really good positions and he was so
yeah,
unlucky. I think it was in the first 10 minutes. If he'd have made contact, that would have gone in. Like, do you know what I mean? It really
yeah,
would have been. But
yeah.
I just think. For me, I, it's like I said to you yesterday. I don't like to be too critical, but if we want to survive in the Premier League, we've got to make those tough decisions. And
Yeah,
for
well, it's a game of fine margins, isn't it?
it is a game of fine margins, but in all credit to Man City this evening, they were sharp, they were slick, and everything, which we all knew, Man City. But I just thought they got that extra edge. And if they'd have gone, I didn't think they reached first gear. I really didn't. I think if they'd
Well,
have
they didn't
pressed
get
up a
out
bit
the
more,
first year, I don't think.
yeah, they'd have just it was just they were amazing. And ain't Nori, wow, he's
Yeah,
still special, isn't he,
he
with his
made one
footwork.
great tackle on Monetti, I think it was. Yeah, or was it Monetti when Monetti was on the break?
Well, he nearly took what's his
In
name out, didn't he? Rodrigo Gomez in the second half. I think it was
yeah,
Aitnor who took him up. But fair play to Gomez. He still spoke. But like you say, when he
yeah.
going back onto that starting 11, I would have preferred what for the last 20. I think it was 15, 20 minutes when he brought on the Gomez's and Lopez and Arias, and I thought, you know
We
what,
had three Gomez's on the and at the end
we did,
we
yeah.
had João
And
Gomez, Totti Gomez, and Rodrigo Gomez.
yeah, for me, he should have started with those 11 that will come on in the last 15, 20 minutes. For me, it
Yeah,
was always going to be, there was going to be 5 minutes added on or something like that. I don't know what it was in the end, but I think most sports fans are
in the
looking
second
at
half it was 7 minutes at the end.
7 minutes, was it? And
Yeah,
we was never going to pull that back. And unfortunately, we conceded one. I think it was, 10 minutes into the second half, maybe a bit more. In fact, I
yeah.
think it was a bit more. But and you could see that they were down and there were
It was
frustrations
about
there.
60 minutes, the third goal, because I wrote it down because I was sitting in the Stan Cullis upper
Yeah,
behind the goals, slightly to the left
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yes. But you know what? It's we all knew that it was going to be hard to beat Man City. But I also watched on Sky the Pereira's interview, and I just thought to
Yeah,
myself,
I
you know
saw
what,
that just.
we're going for this. You know what I mean? That's it. Pre-season's over. Let's go for it. But for me, like I said, I watched the pre-season games, a couple of them, and we were exactly the same. We were no different. We were
Yeah.
easily pushed off the ball, and I thought, hold on, what's going on here? We all slated yeah, Gary O'Neill, obviously the beginning of last season. But do you now think that the honeymoon's period's over now for Pereira, and now we've got to start to get real?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely, because like there was one season, was about 2017, Leicester won the league. Ranieri was the hero, and a few months later he was sacked. So, yeah, football's a very ruthless game, isn't it? Which is
and you know
one
what?
minute you're hero, the next minute you're zero.
You're zero exactly, and I think that's what it is, and that's why how tough the Premier League is. You know what I mean? We've got to be tough, and that's what is Pereira tough. I do believe Pereira's a tough manager, and
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
because I've seen the interviews with when he was in Saudi Arabia, when he was with the owner of the club, and
Yeah,
the owner was trying to take charge of the press conference, and Vitor was
yeah,
not letting him have it. He was threatening
yeah,
to walk out. He says,
yeah.
"Either you let me do it, or
Mm.
I'm going to walk." So
There was a comment.
Vitor's like not to be messed around with.
He's not to be best man, but we said that against with Lopetegui, didn't he? He's not one to manager to mess about, and they messed him about, and look what happened. And let's be
But
honest, when he
hopefully they've learned from that, because we've got a good
have
bloke.
have they
With a,
learned? Do you think Fowson have learned from all this? Because I mean,
well,
they have
I
brought
just
some
hope
good.
so. I can't
We'd
be
like to
definite,
think,
I'll
aren't
just say
we?
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. We looked at it, like you explained it quite well yesterday. That they've brought the money in. The club is where we are. This is our eighth consecutive now Premier League campaign, and we're still
Yeah,
there.
I think it was
And
2018, 2019 was our first season in the
yeah,
Premier, innit?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I just
yeah,
think
18,
we've got to
19.
start to get real. And there was a comment that was, but I think it was by David Moyes, that it's tougher than ever now for clubs who are not that prominent to go and get these good players in. And perhaps now that's why we need George Mendes now to see that we can get these quality players from wherever we can to bring him in. He did it under
Yeah.
Nuno. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, he did it. And with Pereira in there, hope we can get the same. But I noticed a comment in
Yeah,
WM now, when I was always on the way back home, and they said, "Do you think that's Pereira has selected that? Let's be honest, a poor 11 today. Perhaps he knew that,
yeah.
but the next meeting with the board, the comment was, do you think that's his message now to the board, the next board meeting? This is how bad it's going to be. We need some more players." And it kind of made me think on the
Well,
drive back.
hopefully they won't need to be told that. They could see that for themselves. Hopefully, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? Otherwise,
Yeah,
we're in deeper trouble than I thought we would be.
yeah. Well, and 4-0 against a very slick side. It's happened time and time again. It happens to the like the best of teams in there. We've had people. Man City have had drubbings. Haven't they?
Well,
It's just what happened.
they've done that to us before. Remember when De
Yeah,
Bruyne scored that four, and
yeah,
then Donker scored for us.
yeah,
So it's happened to us before against them
yeah,
at Molineux.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this is a new era. Well,
It
so we
is.
thought,
It,
but it's
it,
the
it is.
same old Wolves.
Well,
No.
it feels like the same old Wolves at the moment. But when he brought them on the second half, my view is, thank the Lord, they're going to show up and almost the two Hugo Bueno and Rodrigo Gomez on the two flanks. They were awesome going forward for the first
Yeah,
10 minutes when they come on. And I
yeah,
think their heads went down a bit, didn't they, when the fourth goal went in? And
yeah.
it was well, we all knew there was clutching at straws, but I'm
But
hoping
yeah,
Pereira now.
it's a game of fine margin because when it was 0-0, we had
Yeah,
we were all up on our feet because we thought we'd gone ahead, but it was
yeah,
disallowed VAR, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, it was a nice header by Bellegarde. Yeah, that was about 25 minutes because we just had a promising break, when Ait
yeah,
Nori had to do a last-ditch tackle on Monetti when he was breaking
yeah,
right. So we were well in it. And even when we went in 2-0 down at half-time, right at the second half, I think it was Herver, he put a beautiful ball across for Larson, who side-footed it. We thought for a split second, we thought it was a goal, but it went into the side netting. And I
yeah,
think he should at least put it on target, is what we thought.
yeah,
I don't know if you remember the one I mean, just
yeah,
after half time
yeah,
when it was
yeah,
2-0. By much, because if that VAR goal had counted or if that Larson had scored that one, but as I always say, it's two letters, but it's one of the biggest words in the English language, though, isn't it? If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no need for tinkers. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Or
yeah,
if ands and ifs were
yeah,
cigarettes for spliffs, you wouldn't have to
yeah.
roll your own. So, yeah,
That's a good expression,
yeah,
isn't it? I like that one. Yeah, I mean, let's be optimistic. We showed really good signs the second half. We showed
yeah.
flair, did in the first half.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no way some of them players.
all Saar had to do was pick the ball out the net 4 times.
Yeah,
Because apart from the goals, I can't remember him making any saves. But
I'll tell you one thing
yeah,
I did notice about Shaw, on both halves, that how much he was coming out and grabbing the ball, and
but
he's not done that really much in the past. He was quite good at coming doing that a couple of
do
times.
you think he should have saved any of them goals?
Yeah, three of them. Yeah, he was wrong positioned
Yeah,
without a doubt.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I said in the second half we were behind that goal, and Haaland he didn't hit it very hard, did he? Along
no,
the ground, I was
no,
surprised he didn't get it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I think that he needs looking at his position.
he does. Yeah, I mean, when I look at the videos via the app, and you can see everybody's having a laugh. And I know, like short clips, can tell a thousand stories, but whether any of them are
Yeah,
actually right. But it all looks like a happy camp. But is it a happy
yeah.
camp? Do you think it's a happy camp?
Well, I think that the players are they're supposed to be signing that Jackson Chatue or whatever,
Yeah,
however you
yeah,
pronounce his name. But I think
yeah,
even Fabrizio Romano says so much. And I think that he's supposed to be 6'1", very fast, can play fullback or
yeah,
centre half. But we mustn't forget that in January there's the AFCON trophy.
yeah, yeah,
So there's going to be the players who play for African countries are going to be missing for about 4 games, which will
yeah,
play Agbadu and this new guy, uh, assuming he signs very soon. But I think that the guys in the squad and the manager, even though we've lost players, they're expecting them to be replaced by guys of good quality now, aren't they?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that they might be a bit unsettled
yeah.
if those players aren't signed.
Fortunately, but for me, he puts a shift in all the time. I mean, Matt Doherty,
But I thought whoever did quite well.
yeah,
Yeah, I think because Doku, I noticed that they doubled up on Doku, weren't they? Because he's a very dangerous player, and even the difference between the both sides in the away fixture after our
yeah,
six successive wins. Sorry.
yeah,
The next game was against them when we lost 1-0,
yeah,
and he was the difference. Supplied the goal for De Bruyne, and he was a constant menace throughout
yeah,
that game.
yeah,
But I noticed that we doubled up whenever he got
yeah.
the ball.
I mean, to be myself, the way I looked at it today, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I just thought for me, he didn't have a very good game, and he put a double workload on Doherty. Like he lost the ball a couple of times. He just, I thought he's supposed to be a fast player, but the Man City players were just ghosting past him all the time. Yeah, with the trickery, but I just don't think. And I was looking at a lot of the comments with clearly loads of Wolves fans that have been there too, and he's had so is Saw obviously, but he's had an absolute slating, and I just don't understand why. And it was clearly evident when I mean Rodrigo Gomez played on the right and brought
Yeah,
in
he
case
got
him.
forward very well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Now he's normally a left-hand player. Do you know what I mean? But when he came on, he's got
Yeah,
a good right foot too. And I thought, you know what? And
yeah,
what I knew anyway was that he got a bit of pace. Do you know what I mean? But to me,
yeah, yeah.
he ghosted down the wing.
He's up and down the field. Rodrigo Gomez.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
all full of it,
yeah.
bursting with
So,
energy.
and I thought to myself, like, perhaps that's what it is because I've done my 11 as well. And perhaps that's what it is. We need Rodrigo Gomez in place of whoever. And Wolf, I don't think he had a bad game, but I'm just wondering
No, I
about
don't think he had a bad
Hugo
game.
Bueno putting him in because he's got a bit more pace
Yeah,
about him and a bit more meat to him too. But he was
he
decent.
had
I
a
thought
lot of
to myself,
energy as well. Hugo
he got a lot
Bueno
of
did, didn't
energy.
he?
But it's I don't know. Pereira's a top manager, and I'm hoping that he's done it tactically today. But perhaps he's going to look and thinking, hold on, perhaps my tactics went a bit wrong because I didn't expect a 4-0 drubbing.
Yeah, here's a question for you. Who was your man of the match for Wolves?
Um, First off, um, that's a difficult one, Courtney. I'll tell you now, a difficult one. Um,
Nobody straight away springs to mind, do they? How
no,
about
but
Joe
I
Gomez?
thought
Joe
Joe
Gomez, maybe?
Gomez and Andre played pretty okay. And again, I thought
Yeah,
Wall, even though he lost the ball a couple of times, but his trickery down the flank was not too bad. You know what?
yeah,
I'm going to go for Joe Gomez. I don't think he had a bad. He
yeah.
was yeah, he was all right first off.
Yeah, we agree
Uh,
on that one then.
do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, but phew, yeah,
But
I couldn't pick one.
next up, did you see any of the Liverpool Bournemouth game last night?
I didn't know. No. Yeah,
Semenya, he scored 2 goals, and he's always
yeah,
whenever I've been to Molineux, he's always looked dangerous against us.
yeah,
So they shipped 4 last night, same as us, but the
yeah,
difference was they were away at the champions and they scored 2, and those
yeah.
it was pretty much 2-2 until 90 minutes, and Liverpool scored 2 goals. The scoreline perhaps flattered them, but
That's
it's not going to
interesting,
be
actually.
easy next week, is it?
Did you watch the game yourself yesterday?
I saw some of the second half. I didn't see the
For
whole
the
of it.
second half. Okay. So based on some, I presume you what much more about 15, 20 minutes did you or something like that, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I saw it was 1-0. I think
yeah,
it was 1-0 to Liverpool when I turned it on.
yeah. Based on what you saw yesterday and whether you saw any highlights, right? Do you think that they were and looking at Man City today? Do you think that we're going to have a problem against Liverpool too? Because a lot of people were
Man
saying they were.
City,
Yeah.
who will have a problem
Do you
against
think?
Liverpool?
Do you think Wolves are going to have a problem with Liverpool too? Because I just thought Man City
Yeah,
today
yeah,
were
they
on
will,
another
of
level.
course. Of
They
course they
were
will.
really, really good. But a lot of people
Yeah,
saying
I think.
when I've looked at a couple of tweets, comments today on social media, and people say that Liverpool, was it 4-2 in the end, wasn't it,
Yeah, it was
to Liverpool?
4-2.
But
Yeah, because Salah got the third one, and then
yeah,
was it Chiesa or what? It was an Italian guy. Yeah,
yeah.
Italian
But
guy got the fourth.
a lot of people saying that the scoreline flattered them. They didn't actually play that well.
Yeah, Bournemouth matched them from what.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the whole game, but from what I saw, Bournemouth
Mm.
matched them, and it was just 2 goals at the end.
So,
Well,
let's be honest. We look at last season, and we had the first, 6 or 7 or 8 games that we were nowhere near, and we've had one of them games today where Man City were on another level, and it's just okay. That's it now. Let's put it to the back now. What we've got to do. You can't define that. Can't define our season. The second half
yeah,
proved that we put Man City on the back foot in my view. When
yeah,
the four
Man City they look good, but
yeah,
I think we were kind of like the architects of our own downfall with some of the
without a doubt,
mistakes what we
yeah,
made.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
chances. We did
I'm
create some chances on the plus side.
well, yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, it's easy to be negative on a 4-0 drubbing your first time out game of the season. Do you know what I mean? But
It's a
for me,
bad day
the
at the
positive
office.
was,
We can't forget it, but we've got to learn the lessons. We've got to take the
yeah, yeah,
lessons,
yeah,
try,
yeah,
learn from it, and
yeah,
eliminate them errors and improve.
yeah. Well, for me, Wolves never do seem to eliminate the errors, and when they do, it's only for the odd game. Do you know what I mean? And when I think it was 6 or 7 on the bounce that we won last season to pretty much keep us up. I just think to
But
myself,
another thing, I think we're defending better on set pieces than we were last season.
yeah,
But
yeah,
having said that, you
I
just
thought,
hit
yeah,
4 goals, so what
yeah.
can you say?
Yeah, it is. It's easy to be critical. I'm looking forward to next week because I want to see if Pereira's going to learn his lesson as well because he's not
Yeah,
going to like that 4-0 drubbing. He's a highly regarded manager who's passionate. He wants to win all the time. Do you know what I mean? He's more for me.
yeah,
He's more. Oh God, dare I say it? More aggressive than Nuno. Do you know what I mean? He wants that play. He wants
yeah,
to. He's not as aggressive as Lopetego is. Do you know what I mean? But he's still he's got a drive.
yeah,
He's got that drive, hasn't he? And I just want to know if
yeah.
he's going to learn it because he's going to be after. I don't think it's going to be a point tonight for him unless he's
No,
just showing his sorrow.
there's
But
no points tonight.
there's none. But it's just based on the last 15 minutes today, I still think I'm still quite optimistic. I don't think we'll meet Europe, but I'm still quite optimistic that we're going to be mid-table. What do you
Yeah, I
reckon,
hope
Paul?
so. I hope so. There was the odd shoot of hope there, but we have to be cautious because it's going to be against teams like Everton, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds. Uh, those are going to define our season, though, aren't they? Rather
Yeah,
than your Man Cities, your Arsenals, your Chelseas, Tottenhams, Liverpools, and so on.
yeah. Here's the thing. Obviously, Leicester City, they won the Premier League a few seasons back, whether it be luck or what, but they still won it. Okay. Do you think now
Well,
that,
over a whole season, it's not luck.
yeah, well, maybe not, but let's
Not
look
over
at
a
it.
whole season.
Do you think
Yeah.
now that there should be a Super League with the top side, what they call it, the top, is it top 5, 6 teams, or have they now just got too much power now that nobody else is ever going to win it? Just based on
Well,
what happened to Leicester City a few seasons back, or is it just Wolves now where we're just going to let's remain in the Premier League and see how much money we can get and how I don't know,
Well,
perhaps
Bolton, they changed their tune a lot, though, didn't they? Because when they first came in, they was saying that they were going to rival Man City and be one of the
yeah,
biggest teams. And then last
yeah,
season,
yeah,
if
yeah,
it's a trophy and competing for trophies and playing in Europe, then perhaps you've picked the wrong team. So they've changed
yeah.
they've backtracked somewhat,
They have.
haven't they?
I,
So,
I just
but
think
I
that we've
don't.
gone back that badly.
Yeah,
It's saddening, and what I saw, today and over pre-season, I just think to myself, wow, just taken a massive step back. And while I appreciate we've lost some top players, you know what I mean, but we've still got Thousand, who are a multi-million-pound company. They've still got a clearly interest in Wolves, else they'd sell us off. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's
And
frustrating for fans, though, isn't it? Seeing
it's
as soon as
huge.
we get
Yeah,
a good player, we know we're not going to keep him. Somebody else is
no,
just going to come and bid for him, and then we're just going to let them have it.
Yeah.
We're getting fed up of it now, aren't we?
You know what? And I reckon
We're never going to get anywhere, are we, if we don't
I,
keep our best players, are we?
we got, and you know what? You know who I personally believe the next possibly two players to leave Wolves.
It's Andre and Gomez. Andre and João Gomez.
I was going to say João Gomez and Fer Lopez. I think they're the next two that are going to go because Fer Lopez, he's a good player. He's a really good
Yeah,
player, and I think we'll lose him to somebody like Arsenal. You know what I mean?
it's a dreadful thought, that is. It's a
Yeah.
dreadful thought.
It is, but like you just said, we
Mm.
seem to lose these players. You know, like we kind of we breed them to be better, and then we sell them on. Do you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where we are. And we can't seem to progress any further. And
yeah.
I'm just thinking, I just believe that they're the two next players to go, and they're either going to go January or February this season, or by
I
summer
don't think
next
Fer
year.
Lopez will go in January yet. I don't think so. I think he'll do a whole season because they want to see how good he is over a whole season. Because I don't think unless he comes in and bangs in loads of goals, I don't think he could impress somebody to other teams to that extent between now and January. But
I think he's
we've
going to be
already
surprised.
teams have seen what João Gomez and
Yeah,
Andre can do, haven't they? Because
yeah,
this is João Gomez's third season because he came in January 23.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Andre came in last summer.
Yeah, it's going to be. You know what? Yeah, I think us Wolves fans are going to be down today, but I'm not going to be that down. I'm going to go and have a beer now,
Yeah.
hopefully. But I'm still quite optimistic. I can
Mm.
still, look forward to our chats after after the games to
Yeah.
really discuss the
Well, we'll
games.
say next week, the next game is away at Bournemouth. I presume that's next Saturday at 3:00.
Yeah,
I think so, but I could be wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But we keep the faith, don't we? Wolves, we.
We do. We do. Oh. Mhm. And
Courtney, it's been a pleasure speaking to you again.
the Diogo Jota murals are on the side of
Oh,
the wall, not on the leaping wall, but there's a wall in the car park, a couple of walls on the car park, and they're
yeah.
on the walls in the car park. Took a couple of photos of them.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go over there today and take a picture. I'll send you the picture what I had. There was nobody on the car park, the Leaping Frog, or whatever it's called. And I mean, I didn't see after the match, like, but even before the match, it was really nice. And then, but apparently after the match, quite a few people were in tears because it was that emotional.
Yeah.
Ruben Neves was all over Sky News because he was pictured. But what they didn't pick up on that was Jota's wife was there too, sat next to
Oh, you mean
Neves.
at Anfield?
She was at Molineux this evening too.
Oh, was she? I
Yeah,
didn't
she was at
know. I
Molineux.
didn't really.
Yeah, apparently she
So
was
I
at
didn't get
Molineux.
there till about 22. Yeah.
Yeah, she was. I think she was sat next to Neves. Do you
Okay.
know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, for her for her to be there this evening, it was just everything was just magical. It's just a pity the Wolves couldn't, put a performance in, but
Yeah.
it's not overshadow the fact that what Wolves saw to Jota today. It was phenomenal, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of work that's gone on behind the scenes at the Wolves today. I've been made aware of, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. God bless his soul. Yeah, just wow, just yeah, it was phenomenal. Tears had come to
Yeah.
everybody's eyes, but yeah,
Puts the game into perspective
yeah,
when you hear of a young guy like that losing his life and his
yeah,
brother.
yeah. Oh, it's yeah. I mean, yeah. Don't want to fill up, like, obviously, like, but it's just awful, isn't it? Just absolutely awful. It
Yeah.
really is. No words can explain just how people are feeling. Nobody can know what his family are going through at the moment unless you've been through such a situation. It really is
Yeah.
just heartbreaking, heartbreaking. But
Mhm.
the Wolves fans, the Liverpool fans, the whole footballing family are behind, and yeah, yeah, it's one of them. It's just awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, mate.
Okay.
Yes.
Been a pleasure. All right. Thank you
No
very
worries.
much. Join us next time.
I will. Again, absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to this season with you. So many ideas coming up, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks to all the
Brilliant.
viewers for watching.
Yes, thank you. Well, I saw the our first video yesterday. It's got quite. Is it nearly 100? Is it or something like that?
Over 100.
So
Yeah, over 100 views.
I dare say that's because you're the star. Do you know what I mean?
I
That's
don't
why.
know about that. 50-50.
You know what I mean?
All right.
But yeah, thank you everybody. Really, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
No worries.
Up
Have
the
a good evening.
walls.
Bye bye.